promoting something other than life, then it's time to change it. It's time to do away with it. And so when we look at how the way religion is being applied in terms of same-gender loving people around traditional practices, when we see the death that is the fruit, then it's time that we change some things. It's time that pastors begin to look at how they're hurting their people, you know, how they're killing their people, you know, and begin to change. Truly, the God that I know is compassionate, the God that I know is merciful, the God that I know is forgiving. So, as Bishop Amos said, God did not die and leave anybody in charge. And if God can put up with people every day and not kill them, then you ought to be able to put up with people every day and just love them for who they are. The same way that God shows you new loves and mercies every day. When God sends people your way, that's what you ought to be showing, new love and mercy. And if God gonna change somebody, He can do it without you. You know, it's not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord.
Amen. And the other thing, to speak to the sister who is a mental health therapist, like there are some things that are mental health issues.
Oh yeah.
And we want to use, we have become a culture in the last like 500 years that wants to apply religion to everything.
Everything.
We want to use religion to fix some things which God has created humankind to be trained in the areas of some sciences that folks need to tap into. And I think that when we talk about knowing that we are free in God indeed, that's work. That don't happen because you step into the sanctuary.
Amen.
You know, like you know, when Lot's wife, when they were leaving and he said, "Don't turn around," and she turned around. That turnaround is about, in the way that I receive that scripture is around. There are some things that you ain't quite put closure to. There's some work that we got to do as same gender loving folks that is about our mental health in relationship to our sexuality, in relationship to God, in relationship to community. So there are elements that we have to work on. And the church can't be the place where it all is fixed at.
Right.
Because that ain't what religion is supposed to, you know what I'm saying? That's not religion. That's not what we're supposed to do. And I think that we have gotten so caught up around that the Bible's going to fix it all. That we have not been living in the truest capacity in God's awesomeness. Like we have not taken off some shackles. And we get caught in a Bible that is supposed to be a living document. But we have kind of made it be the final word.
It's God. It has become God instead of God becoming
Right.
And so there's other areas of our lives as same gender loving folks where we got work to do. And the scripture ain't the only place we're going to do that work.
Gotta sit on the couch.
It says that
Talk
the
to
earth
somebody.
is the Lord.
Yeah.
The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. So all these, God told Abraham to look as far as you can see, it's yours. And that's it. That's to all of us. You look, and as far as you can see, it's yours. So everything out there belongs to God. So, as I'm dealing with these challenges that you talked about, you got someone who is skilled in the mental capacity. You know what? I need to go.
That's right.
Because you belong to God.
Right.
God has you there. You're a resource for me,
That's right.
for me to go get my healing. It says, go get your healing. Well, sometimes you got to go get it. That means you got to go to the doctor. That means you got to go to the counselor. Because God has given each individual gifts, given them skills so that we can take care of one another. It says that where I am weak, God is made strong. But see, what I have to do is I have to acknowledge my weakness. And when I acknowledge my weakness,
You have to call it out.
Exactly.
You gotta call it out.
Bring in what is needed for me.
That's right.
Everything that we need is available to us. But all kinds of stuff keep us from going to get it. Everything from culture that keeps us in the house because we're scared to go get stuff because we're scared somebody gonna know something. The real key is does God know? And you know God knows it all. And if you're gonna be scared of somebody, be scared of what God knows. Don't be scared of what man or my neighbor is going to know. Go get what belongs to you. Because at the end of the day, when you don't have what you need, and God
It's
has
not 'cause
told
God
you, God said,
That's
you
right. It's not
ask,
'cause God has not provided.
you ask and I'll give it to
That's
you.
right. That's right.
But we forget that we work as co-partners
That's
with
it.
God. And so when I ask God for something and God tells me to go get it, I can't sit at home.
There it is.
And
I
I have to go get it, whether it's a job, whether it's I've asked God for my healing, but God said your healing is in that medication. You need to go down here to the pharmacy and get it because this is a resource that I'm using until the next level of healing comes. This medicine is your healing right now. So when I hear folks always talking about all this stuff that we just crazy sometimes. I don't take medicine. I don't go to the doctor. I don't do blood transfusion. But maybe you just go ahead and die.
Basically.
And that's not what God intends for us.
At all.
That's not what God intends for
God
us.
wouldn't have made medicine.
Exactly.
In the chat room, Sue is saying he got 5 minutes before I start playing the organ. I love that man. They need you to talk up though. I'm getting text messages, BBMs, and in the chat room telling me, please tell Reverend Stacy to speak up. We want to hear him preach.
Okay.
I have a question though. So how come people think the city of Sodom was destroyed because of homosexuality, when in reality it was destroyed because the people of Sodom was rich and they didn't share their rich with the poor and different things that God wanted them to do? Where are people getting this idea that the city was destroyed because of homosexuality?
Well, it's the same as with anything. You see, if we didn't have the knowledge that we have, we'd still been running with that thing. But God illuminates scripture for us. The same way that if we had kept running with that thing, women would never been speaking in church. They wouldn't have had nothing to say in church.
Right.
But God illuminates the word, and we see that Paul was using this as a specific time. This was just a specific situation. When somebody jumped on the bandwagon because why? Because oppression benefits somebody. Somebody's benefiting from it. Today, somebody is shaking in their boots because they might be okay with gay marriage. They might be okay with somebody. Why? Because that oppression is benefiting someone. And so, when your benefits are there, you don't want your benefits gone. It's just like right now, if you got a job and they start talking about cutting your benefits, you think about going somewhere else. And so when we're looking at this culture around religion, it is benefiting some people. When you look at a church that from top to bottom, you have gay people in it. But because of the culture, because of the belief in there, gay people can only go so far. They reach their glass ceiling. And the rest of the heterosexuals get to go onto the top, into the money, into yada, yada, yada. And so we see, even when it comes to, and I hate to bring this into play, so when you, and we know he's innocent until proven guilty. So when you look at somebody like.
Can we say names?
Yeah, somebody, look at somebody like Bishop Long.
Okay.
So, and again, innocent until proven guilty. But say he's guilty. Let's just say he's guilty now. So see that whole idea around what I cannot be, even though that Psalm 51 says God desires truth in the inward part. The truth has got to be on the inside first. And see, if I can't deal with the inside, what's going on, then it's going to show up on the outside. And then we end up living double lives.
Yeah, because
triple
he
lives.
did that.
All that kind of stuff. But that's what happens to us when we can't deal with truth. When we let the world tell us how to live instead of allowing God to tell us how to live. And God says, I need you to be you. I spent all this time in eternity before you got here shaping, molding, and making you so you can be you. Now what you got to do is stop listening to the world. Because you are in this world but not of this world. One day everything that you desire from this world will exist no more. No more. I put you in this world because there's a special treasure. There's a treasure in this earthen vessel inside of you that I need to speak for me, that I need to be me at this time in your life. But you caught up in the world. You listen to what the world says that you are. And your light can never shine like I need it to. But the day that you recognize who I really am in your life, you will see the power. You will feel the power. And you will know without a shadow of a doubt that you can walk the streets and be exactly who you are without apology, without worrying about what somebody's going to say. Because, see, that's what real love does. Real love is from the inside out, not from the outside in.